Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be making, well for right now, I'm assuming that I'm recording this around November, so around Thanksgiving, but this is probably going to be posted December when the new Spider-Man drops. And actually on that note, I'd like to say that I was looking through my collection and I had made this a long time ago, which is like, it looks like the new Spider-Man suit. So I'd like to say I predicted the future. But anyways, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be making the new Spider-Man suit that looks like this. I have always had bad luck with Spider-Man, and this is not my strongest set because I have attempted this multiple times throughout the years of me making pipe cleaners. I even have, this is my newest version, just made it a few months ago, so I do hope this turns out, but if it doesn't, we will make do with what we got. So today what you're going to be needing is a standard pack. I have my red and blue, and then my white. You're not going to need too many whites. I'm guessing like 3 at most, but if we need more, we'll get more. This is about like 2 packs worth. So all you need is like 2 packs for this one. And you don't even necessarily need that. You just need like, if you want to make a smaller version of this, you can just use less pipe cleaners and make the skeleton smaller. So what we're going to start with, since this base right here seems to be more of like a, I don't know if that's going to actually, seems to be more of a blue, and then the red more covers it. So what we're going to start with, like per usual, how I start with all my pipe cleaners, we're going to start with the skeleton, the X. So you're going to twist it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are very tight ones. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Other side. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and about 20, 21. 20 or 21 should do it. Should be about this length, about this much of your finger. So now, I'm going to start working on the legs. You're going to go about this far out, stretch this down like this, and then about here, you're going to fold it upwards, and that's going to be the length of the legs. Actually, on that note, then we're going to twist it one more time. No. Don't twist it, don't twist it. Okay. And then, right here, you're going to crease the foot part way in. So it's about 75% of the fingertip. If you want like actual measurements on that, I can do that. Just comment it down. And actually, wait, never mind. I have a tape measure. So your legs are going to be about that much. So about 3.8 inches. Same for the other leg. And then the feet are going to be about less than an inch. The body is going to be 2.5 inches. So you have actual measurements. Because I know it's hard to like, when I was in the past trying to figure out how to make something, I would wish that they had measurements. So I'll start doing that for all my videos. And then you crease the same on the other foot. You don't really need to measure for that one, since you can just go off the other foot. So there you have your feet. And yeah, The boots are going to be red, but we'll cover that later. We just want to work on the skeleton right now. Next, we're going to broaden the shoulders. Spread this outward. About you're going to want the arms to be about the shoulder to stop at 1/2 inch. About 1/2 inch in length. Just like that. Because you want enough space for when we're going to make the chest, so that we have enough space for the Spider-Man symbol, the spider symbol. So now, what we're going to do is, we're going to work on the arms. You want this to be about 1/2 inch from where the legs start. So about like right back. It should look like that. And then you do the same for the other arm. Actually, okay. Make it a full inch. And then just tie it around like that. So it gets absorbed. Because notice I've always had an issue where there's no space for the hands. So this time we're going to compensate for that and make the arms a little bit longer. About that length. So now, this is where we start thickening the legs a bit. And then we're going to start shaping the foot. We're going to start like adding the details for the legs, at least. So we're not going to only touch the arms right now. So you want to spread the legs like that. Lay your new blue piece about halfway so that it's even on both sides. I'm just eyeballing it, but you guys can try to do your measurements. So for this side, you're going to want to wrap it around the leg once. And then same for the other side. So now it's a part of the leg. Now for this side, we don't need it to be tight yet. So we're just going to bring it down all the way here. Tie it off at the end once, wrap it around once. You can stretch the foot out if you need to. And then you're going around and around here. So what I'm doing, I'm bringing this to the foot, and then I'm wrapping around, and then right here, wrap it off. And press it so that it gets absorbed in there. And that's going to be the skeleton for the foot. And then repeat on this side. You bring this down here, stretch the foot out, wrap this, tie it off around the ankle, bring it down, up, around the foot, and then about halfway, tie it off just like that. And the next skeleton for the foot. Now, we're going to work on the skeleton. You can press this off if you want to make it tighter. We're going to work on the skeleton for the arms. So you're going to do here is about like halfway up the body on the abdomen. On this side, you're going to tie it halfway around like that. Up this to where the shoulder and the arm meet. tie it around once. Then you're going to bring the rest of it down to the halfway point, tie it once, so it looks like that, and then just wrap it down. Just like that. We're going to do the same for the same shoulder, the different shoulder. Wrap it around once, tight. Bring it to the halfway point. Tie it off there. And then wrap it down. Now we have two arms. Okay, now that we've had the skeleton for this, it's time to start buffing up the legs. And then we're going to start adding red everywhere. You're going to want to get about 4 pieces of glue here. So what you're going to do is take about a fingertip worth or an inch worth. Bring it here, tie it off, bring the excess of it up to the abdomen and just tie it around the abdomen, like that. And then you're gonna bring this down, tie it to the ankle, bring this up, tie it back on the abdomen, and use that axis for the abdomen. This axis gives you a way to buff out the skeleton of the chest, which you might want to move a lot if you're playing with it or using it for posing. This will provide the strength later for it that you'll need. So it should have 3 individual pieces inside of it, like that. And then you're going to get another one. You're going to do the same thing for this side. Get about a fingertip width or an inch. Tie it around the abdomen. It should be a little harder now, and there's not going to be enough to wrap around. But that means that's just because this is getting thicker. So you're going to bring this all the way down here. Tie it off at the ankle. And pardon, I said 3, but there's actually 4 inside of here. So you're going to bring this back up. Tie it around the abdomen and all the way up. This time, instead of just wrapping it around this part, you're going to want to skip a step, like skip some, and then wrap it around where the chest begins. But don't wrap over this. This area of space is what you're going to need. So it just looks like that. Now, you're going to take one of these blue, tie it around once over where the legs start, and then you're just going to wrap it down. And do the same thing on the other side, wrapping it all the way down. If you have access, tie it off. It should look a little skinny, but that's how it's going to be for now. You can bend the knees to show where they're going to be, which will make your build easier. There you go. Now, we're going to start using the red. For this one, what you're going to want to start doing is about where your knee is right here. Your other knee is, bend that. About half a fingertip down, you're going to want to tie one piece of red. About an inch, half an inch worth of red right there. And then you're going to tie it all the way down. Wrap it around. Make sure that your wraps are very close together so no blue is showing through. All the way down. And then you can start going back up. And now for the foot, what you're going to do here, you're going to make a wrap like this. It should be slightly bigger than the foot. Tie it off at the end, so it looks like that. Bring this to the foot like this, as you can see. You're going to clamp it with one finger here, so that this doesn't move. Go around here. Go over the ankle. We're going to get that piece of glue later. And then wrap. Wrap. See how I'm not squishing it from this side so it keeps that size. Wrap. Wrap. And then we're going to go one more time over that blue that I missed. Wrap. And then back over here. And now you have the first part of the boot. Now, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. About half an inch down, or half a fingertip. Tie it around here. Start going down. And then come back up. You can get a red, like the other foot. Make it about that size, about a full thumb. Tie it so it looks like that. Bring it over to the foot, like this. Clamp it. Tie it around the ankle once. Then over the foot. This looks like some comical boot for right now, but trust me, this is gonna look good. Next, we're gonna get red. We're gonna come over here, and I want you to just wrap around where that calf would be. Actually, no, back up, back up. I want you to make about a full thumb's worth, or about an inch or half an inch, depending on how your build looks. I want you to just wrap around it. So this is like the foot, except we wrapped around it. Now, you're going to bring it over to the left foot like this. So it looks like that. Press it up against like this. And I want you to tie it around very tightly. 2, 3. And then just keep wrapping it around until you run out. So now you have your calf in there. You're going to do the same thing for the other foot. Make the foot wrap around. So it looks like that little thing. Bring it here. Clamp. Tie around. Really get that calf formation in there. Now you're going to get some more red. Start at the bottom of the ankle. Wrap around it. And just try to pretty it up. Wherever you see any blue left over, any overly ridges, just try to make it look pretty. See how that looks? Clean. And then do the same thing for the other foot. If yours actually looks good and you don't have any blue showing, then you can skip this step. Wrap, wrap, clean it up. And now you have the boots. Or the feet area, I guess. I don't know what you would call that. Okay, this is going to be using a lot of blue here. It's going to take a lot of time, and I don't want to have you guys staying here for too long. So I'm going to try to help you speed run through this. I'm going to go a little fast on this one, but it's going to be clear. You're going to take two blue like this. You're going to take the edges, tie it off 1, 2, 3, until the blues disappear into each other, like that. I want you to take it right over this part, about half a thumb in, tie it once, twice around, so it's stuck like that. And then you're going to start wrapping it around, right above where the boot is going to be. Make sure it's tight so that it doesn't come loose. And then you're going to start going downwards, or upwards, I guess, to the body. All the way up. This is where you have to start thickening the body, or like the legs. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take two blue, about like right here, tie it off until they disappear into each other. Be careful with the spikes. I've done pipe cleaners for so many years that I'm used to it. But if you're a kid doing this with your parent, I need you to be very careful with those spikes so that you don't get hurt. Then you're going to tie it around here. Until it looks good. And then start going down. wrap all the way up the body. And it looks like this thigh would take a lot of work considering how much we put into this. But don't worry, I have a technique that I've used before to thicken thighs faster. So now, you're going to take one blue here. You're going to take it about a finger length. Not a finger length. About this size, the size of the thigh. A little less than the thigh. And then you're going to wrap it around like that. This loop is going to be about 1.9 inches long. And you're going to bring it up like this. Tie this around. Tie it off at the end. Do it one more time. Back, around, and tie it off at the edge. And then, when you have this nice thick piece of pipe cleaner, you're going to bring it to the thigh like that. And you're just going to tie that excess piece off right there. I'm going to take some blue. Right where you tied it off, you're going to tie it right here to enforce it. And then you're just going to keep wrapping it around. Not too heavy here so that you don't deflate it. But this is where we start to really get that thicker part of the thigh. And we almost have our legs done. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other side. 1.9 inches. Tie it off. Wrap once around it. Tie it off. Go back around. Wrap twice around it. Tie it off. Bring it to the thigh, right underneath or above where the knee would be. You're going to wrap it around, and there you go. Take another piece of glue here. Wrap around. And just start wrapping around the entire thigh so that this doesn't fall off. Make sure not to make it too tight so that you don't completely deflate the thigh, but tight enough that this is not going to come off. And there. If you're wondering what I just did there, all I did was push the leg up a little bit into the body so that it looked a little better. So in Spider-Man, you can see that he definitely has that gap where it shows the muscles for the thigh and then where this starts off. So you're going to want to make sure that's pretty clear. So like right where the knee is, it's going to be a little less thick there. So you can see his thigh muscles. For the thigh, we're almost done. You're going to take one piece of blue for one leg. You're going to wrap it around right here once. And then you're just going to start wrapping around that leg, prettying up the thigh. And then do the same for the other side. wrap around the abdomen once, over the hips, and then around the thigh. Any unnatural looking dents, you fill that in until the leg looks like that. Now, this is going to be the tricky part that I've always struggled with, so please bear with me if I make any mistakes here. But we're going to get through this. So, I'm not going to overcomplicate this design with adding too many of those thin lines, because to do that takes a technique that is a painstaking process. If you guys do want me to do that, I can make another part of this video where we're just adding extra, very complicated designs to it. Like, as you can see here, if that zooms in, there's like tiny red lines in there, which I would have to show you how to cut these down to be thinner. And it takes a lot of precision. So if you want me to do that in another video, just comment that down below. But in the meantime, I'm just going to make this more simpler for the younger viewers. So what you're going to do is, you're going to take a blue here, right where the crotch is, and you're going to bring it about halfway up like that. You're going to go where this shoulder is right here, you're going to fill that in. And then from the other side, you're going to fill the shoulder right here, fill it in, bring it back down, and then back up around, and tie it off around the hips. You want to press this in to make it look good for the body, because this is where the body's going to start to come in. Then, this is where the red starts to come in. I'm looking at the design right now. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna bring a red band about like this size. You're gonna bring it about around here, all the way around. And then here's the key part. It's gonna stretch around like that. You're gonna tie it off like this. This is about that long, which is about 1.5 inches exactly. So you're gonna bring it around like this, clip this part down, come to the other side, and here's what's gonna be interesting. You're gonna, since this is 2 pieces, you can thread it through the red. Tie it off, bring it in like that, like threading a needle, bring the rest of the red down. And then you can clamp it the other way around, tie it once, twice, and then you're going to start to go upwards. And it should look a little something like that. Yours doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect pipe cleaner. You guys can even veer off and start doing your own thing, adding your own details. This is just the way I'm doing it. Now that we have that in, I'm going to spread it out like this, the arms. You're going to take your red I don't know, hold up. Okay. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take some more blue here. Take one blue. Wrap it right around where the red starts. Like that. We're gonna puff out this just a little bit more before we start adding the designs. Keep wrapping it around all the way. Make sure not to hurt the integrity of how wide the chest is. You're just gonna wanna start filling in the holes. All the way around. And then you're gonna wrap off around the shoulder. So it looks like that. We're gonna wrap this little hole right here. Hold that in. And then we're gonna go back down. Because we want this to have enough integrity. So just fill in the chest and the abdomen. So it looks like that. Now, what you're gonna do is get some red here. We're gonna go all the way around and just slowly start to go all the way up. Make sure to fill in all the blue parts. This is like what we were doing for the legs or the calf. And tie it around the shoulder. So just fill in that entire chest and stomach area. Make sure not to hurt the shoulders. So leave those out. Don't tie anywhere near them. Or you can tie near them, but just don't tie on them. Because we still have work to do for the arms. So it's gonna look something like that. Don't worry about the back. That's why I was stressing for this. The back is gonna have to be blue. So if there's blue showing, that's okay. We're gonna come back here eventually, and we're gonna figure out how to make this entire side blue. But in the meantime, also I wanna make this a little bit more thicker, because that's what it's showing in the picture for me. So I'm just gonna go through and add some details for this. So it looks like that. Okay. Now what you're gonna wanna do, we're gonna work on the arms, because the arms need work before we start on the designs for the chest. The arms are pretty basic. It's just blue, and then we're gonna add a few very simple red lines. So for the arm, you're gonna take it out like this, wrap around the shoulder. That's what leaving that space is for. And you're just gonna tie around the bicep area and the tricep. And then you're gonna go back up. Just keep wrapping around that arm. Try to strengthen the tricep and bicep area, because we want to make this look buff. we're going to take another piece, wrap as close as you can to that shoulder area, and we're going to start wrapping around the tricep, and this time we're going to go down to the rest of the arm. And you're going to want to make sure to stop short so you have this small area for the hand. Then you're going to come back up. So it looks like that. You're going to take some glue for the other side and do the exact same thing. Right now we're just strengthening the arms, making them look pretty. Cut off where the elbow starts, and then go back up. You're just going to keep wrapping around. And then once you have that second piece done, you have that second piece in now. You're going to go down to the elbow and down to the rest of the body, to where the hand is. Leave that hand area, that little one right there. And then you're going to come back up. And we basically have the arms done. Just adjust it so that it looks good. And there you go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the spider symbol. You're going to take a piece of white, about finger length long, probably like 1/2 inch, and you're going to make a small circle. And then, once you have that small little circle like that, you're going to make a slightly bigger circle. About that size. That's going to go right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring it here. You're going to find somewhere to thread it in, one of these random red pieces. Just make sure it's near the chest area. And you're going to flip it so that it looks like that. And then you're going to bring it to this side. Crease it so it looks like that. Bring it down to here. And then around. You're going to make it go all the way around here. Bring it back up through here. And then you're going to pull this up, and you're going to wrap around it. Make sure to press it so it's very close to the body and it looks cool. Then you can take this side. You're going to go over the shoulder. And this is where we're going to leave off for now. So now that we have this part here, you're going to get some blue. And what you're going to do, you're going to make like a little shield. That's about the length of the back. About like that. Tie it around like this. And then for the back, you're going to just spread like that and go around the circle. Around the circle. Or the oval. This is more of an oval shape. Make sure not to squeeze it so that it doesn't hurt the integrity, so that it doesn't squish this way, but more of a downwards. You're gonna wrap it around like this. And we're gonna rely heavily on the arms here. So you're gonna tie it around the arm. And then you can tie off that blue around the rest of the arm. We're gonna get some more blue. Lift up this white. You're gonna want to thread the needle, tie it through that, and then you're gonna tie this around the other shoulder and down the rest of the arm. Until it gets about the elbow. And then you can either take scissors or use the technique I use, which is pinching it like this and just wiggling until it breaks. It shouldn't take too long. Just like that. And then you're gonna lift up this white piece a little bit. And you're gonna thread the blue in. And then you can just lift that blue piece back up around that white. And now we have a blue back. I just came up with that on the go. I don't know how that actually worked out, but it did. And you know what? We're not going to question it. So now you're going to take this white over the shoulder. Bring it over here like this so it looks like that. You're going to take another white. You're going to make a very, very tiny circle. And then underneath that, you're going to make a bigger circle. And you're going to thread that in between this blue and red. And you see how this bigger spot has a hole in it? You can take that white, thread it through. And just tie off that white piece around the spider symbol to make it look a little buffer. Then now that we have it like this, what you're going to do is you're going to tie it around here, thread it through there, make sure that spider leg pops out so it looks like it's actually a spider leg. You're going to go over the shoulder here, and then around, and make sure it looks like that. Clean it up. You want to make sure these lines are pressed down as hard as can be, these wet ones, so that it looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to take this white piece around like here. Make sure this is like over the shoulder. And then taking this white piece, you're going to thread through underneath this. Just like through that. So it has that second spider leg. You're going to thread through the body here. And then next spider leg of the spider on the other side. Just like that. And then you're going to bring it up here. Then you're just going to thread this through the body here. To the other side. Work on the details. And then this part, you just either wiggle it off or chop it off with some scissors. Sorry, I had to take it off screen to chop it. This is hard to wiggle from this angle because I don't have scissors right now. Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta get scissors. Now that I have my scissors, we're going to cut the white. And it should look something like that. These spider symbols are always the hardest ones to do. And we still have to take care of the back. So if you're struggling on this, I don't blame you. Now, I can show you an easier way to do this, because this is a little complicated. You could just take a circle, honestly, like that. Make a small circle above it. would look like that. And then you just pin that in the center. And trust me, it would look like a little spider. We're just doing the more harder version of it. Trying to get it to look like that. So now, there's one little design we have to add in for the leg. We have to make one red piece around the knee, which is pretty easy. Just wrap it around like this. So you're going to take it like this. And then where that little piece is, you're going to take off and just tie it really tightly there. And cut it. And just fold that piece into it, and it looks like that. Do the same thing for the other knee. Just tie it around. And cut. And there you go. Now we're gonna fill in the thighs a little bit more, because they are looking a little on the slim side. We're gonna just take 2 glue for this. Take one right here, wherever it's looking the thinnest, and just wrap it around until it gets that nice shape. If yours isn't looking funky or like mine, then you're okay. I just want to say thank you to anyone who's made it this far into the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And drop any suggestions you want for what I should make next. Okay. Now we have the legs like that. This is a very interesting suit. I will give them that. They made this very complex. Okay. Now, you're going to add a little red design. Right over the hand. So you're going to peel a hand up like this. And what you're going to do, so you're going to add one little red stripe around there. Just like that. Chop is the same principle that you used for the knees. So it looks like that. I don't know if you really need to add one on the... I guess you can. Okay. Add one red stripe around the elbow. Nope, that didn't turn out. Okay. Let's try that again. Add one stripe on the elbow, like so. Make sure you have that little piece so you can tie around like that. Tie it around that about twice. Chop. And peel that little red piece back in. Now you have that little red stripe in there. Do the same thing for the other side. Tie it once, twice. Chop it. Oh, sorry. Chop it. And then fold that into the arm. And then for the other hand, same principle for all these little red stripes. And take the red, that very, very small line over it. Like that. Clamp it down so it looks like that. Now we almost have the full suit done. If the legs are looking a little too long, like for me, just push the leg up into the body a little bit. Okay, now we have the final piece to do. Oh, sorry, I lied. We have one more piece to do. Two more, I mean. We have to fix up this back a little bit. For this part, it's going to be pretty easy. You just thread a piece through the body, like this. One piece of white. Go through like that. Make it go downwards. Find somewhere to thread this into. In the back. Like that. And do the same thing on the other side. For this part, you're going to need to chop it. Not all the way through, you want to leave a little length. There you go, you have the little legs in. And then, like, in the picture, there's a red band here. So we're going to make one more piece of red band. And then you're going to wrap it around, tie it off at the front, chop, and then fold the rest of the red into the body. So that all looks like that. We're almost there. This is really starting to come together. Now the last thing we have to do is the head. We are home free, guys. Thank you for sticking this far into the video. Okay. We're almost there. Just get the head part done, and we're done. You're going to get it about like this length for the head. Tie around there. And then for this, we're just going to go around once. Wrap around again. Twice. And a third time. Now this part, there isn't really a science to it. The point is just to make this into a circle. So you're going to take another piece. Just start going around it. Make sure not to go in one place too many times. You want to go around different places so you get that circular shape. Around again. Just make that into a little circle. Well, not a circle, but like an orb. Now we're going to shape it. This is going to be the neck. This is going to be the rest of the face. Now Spider-Man's face is more round in the front, so just try to go for more of a rounder shape. Keep forming it. This is what I like to call sculpting the face, because this really is sculpting. Just like that. So you get that face in there. And you can start to see this is really starting to become a head. Make sure it's not too... There's no spaces showing. You can see that head showing. Just sculpt into a head. If you're struggling with this and you're younger, try to get your parent to help you with this part, because this is more of a complicated part. Make it a little smaller. See how I keep applying pressure to sculpt it into the shape I want it to be. Keep going. Okay. And now we have the head. Now what we gotta do here, you're gonna need to get some black and some white for the eyes. So what you're gonna wanna do here, you're gonna make a nice black piece like this. So it's gonna go over the face like that. You're gonna tie it like this. Then you're gonna get another white piece. This one doesn't have a hole in it, have it about that size. You're gonna thread it through this. Press it down so it looks like that. And it's gonna look like this. Now what you're gonna do here, you're gonna take that, sorry I'm not green. You're gonna take that black, tie it around the white, chop off the white. Now this is more of a tricky part, but not too hard. Make sure to get that eye shape that you want it. You want this to be in more of like a triangular form. You're gonna thread this into the head, and it can come out some side. Just try to thread it in there somehow. If you need, what you can do, just take a knife, not a knife, your scissors, chop it through, all the way through, and it should create a small pathway. Bring the eye in, and basically just install it. Make sure it's more to the side of the right face. Now what you're gonna do for this part is you're gonna push this in a little more. This is not gonna make a lot of sense, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna tie the black around really tightly right there. And then you're gonna chop it. Now, it's not gonna look good right now for the black right there, but we're gonna come back to that, because we can just wrap around the neck for that spot. This is just where the eyes are gonna stay for now. Now, you're going to do the same thing for the other side. Make that circle with a hole in it. Tie around once. You're going to want to make this into more of a triangular shape. This is where the next part of the eye is going to go. Make sure it's not too big for the face. Get that white. Make a little circle about 3 times. Then make it point downward like this. Thread the needle through the black. It looks like that. Tie the white. Tie the black around the white. Once, twice. Cut the white off. Make sure to mold that eye to the shape that you need it to be. Now you can just use the same trick here, where the eye is going to be. You're going to take your scissors through there, and you'll see the pathway. Now straighten that piece of black here. Thread it through where the scissors went so that it comes out the same side. And push those eyes in. Nearly there, guys. Now have your spider eyes. Just like the other piece, you're going to tie it around the neck right there. And you can chop it off. Now, honestly, this is perfect, but if you want to go the extra length, take one red piece here, thread it through the nose, and go like that so that it has that distance between the eyes. You can do that. But if you're satisfied with what you have so far, you can just leave off there. You're going to tie this all the way around. Tie it around that black so that it doesn't show through. Actually, you're going to need to do that stuff. Go back and do it if you didn't do it. Now, right here where that blue and red is, you're going to thread through it. Just like that. You're going to bring it back up. Tie it around the neck. Go again through it. Up. Around the neck. One more time. Through that same threaded spot. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Whenever you're having trouble threading through, use that. Just try not to don't cut yourself. Tie it around one more time. perfection. Now I need to make the face a little bit smaller, so I'm just gonna push it inwards like this. You guys are on to do this. You can be done if you're ready. But I'm just gonna add those small little details for the camera so you guys saw the whole process. And there we are, Spider-Man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this was useful to you. And you enjoyed the Spider-Man movie if you haven't seen it. Thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts on this, if there was anything I could have done better, if there's anything you want me to do in the future, or if there's anything you want me to explain for this guy, or any other video, just let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.